Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Gardis at hswrestling.com podcast, near fallback points, whatever you want to call it. Flying solo today. I'm your host, Donald J. Brower. No guest. It's just been a very busy week. Obviously, we're heading into Easter. Things are changing. We have some, updates with COVID, stuff like that. Before I get into anything, we always got to start with the man who's paying the bills, the sponsors. Dan Warnikoff, Champion Athletes. Dan Warnikoff is a person who helps you with nutrition. I know I've said it before. When I was younger, I was fat. I didn't need to lose weight with wrestling, but a lot of the kids did. They ran around in plastic bags. They would have dropped weight unhealthily. Dan will help you lose weight. Pat Laurie credits him with turning around his career because we forget Pat Laurie made 4 finals, but he lost the first 2, and he credits taking his weight seriously with Dan Warnikoff. And Dan not only helps Pat Laurie, he helps other Del Barton wrestlers. He helps at other schools. He helps at other states. He didn't help with wrestling. He helps with other sports. So if you're looking to lose weight and feel good and basically just not get that 3 o'clock slump, that grudge, check out Dan Warnikoff, Champion Athletes. That's the man you want to talk to. And like I said, Dan's been a big proponent of what we do. Thank you, Dan. We're going to jump into some news. Obviously, a couple teams have shut down due to COVID. We're going to see how stuff is rescheduled. It's kind of late in the season for some of the teams, but I know there's been a few scares at different schools in Sussex and Hunterdon and Warren. I know North Warren still shut down. Hunterdon Central should be starting up soon. Warren Hills just kicked off. They had a really good home match the other day and then wound up losing. Traveled to Del Val and then wound up losing to Mount Olive the day before Easter. But they're back on the mat at least, and we'll see what they got. And they actually, some of their ladies actually had a good showing this weekend at the regions. I almost want Jared to play a little Cool in the Gang ladies night. It's girls regions kicking off. They're going to have the regions. They had the regions this weekend. They're going to have the states next weekend. A couple girls kind of to give shout outs to, especially locally. Katrina Kling and Kayla Vasquez of Warren Hills and Kinnelon. They finished 2nd and 3rd at 121. Ayaya, I'm going to mispronounce your name. I'm sorry. Please don't have your coach yell at me. Ilea Payne Paris of Newton, who finished 3rd at 100. Kiera Montoya of Morris Hills, 2nd at 128, are one of the first 2-timers. And the only female wrestler of the week I've ever had, Mount Olive's Carly Anderson, who's a 2-timer, and Maura White of Jefferson Township, who were 1st and 2nd at 135. Then we're going to throw it a little bit to Jared's realm. North Hunterdon had their first ever state qualifiers, and this is one of first place, Jody Holder at 143, Sophia Lombardo of High Point, and Paisley Fox of Hunterdon Central. Now, for a lot of you fans, Holder, that sounds familiar. Her brother wrestled and was a big part of the last few teams for North Hunterdon, so congratulations to them. And the other place winner for North Hunterdon qualifier, Lydia Ananazio. I think I have that right. I'm sorry if I don't. I'm trying to hyphenate it. Phonetically. She was 2nd at 151. Another 2-timer, Kira Hubmaster, who actually won it a few years ago at 215 and is now at 161. She won it from Kittatinny at 161. And Jordan Brannick of Newton, 3rd place at 161. Then we had the 215. 2nd place, Marissa DiPaolo of West Morris, and Lacey Hums of High Point, who finished 2nd and 3rd. So congratulations, lady. They're going to move on to states at Peaburg next week and go out there and represent their schools, which that's what you want to do. And especially with this season, I know it's been very tough for the ladies on the mat with just very limited action. So, good luck, ladies. And you can watch, I'm sure you can watch the feed. I'm sure State Honor Sports will have that up and other venues and stuff. And I'm going to try to make it out there and see if they allow you into the gym as a press. But congratulations, lady. You deserve it. Now, we're going to kick it to my Wrestler of the Week. We've kind of had a theme so far this year because especially the seniors, you get the really good ones, you get the solid ones. And you weren't sure how they were going to do this year, especially with the 100th. You weren't sure with COVID looming. But my Wrestler of the Week, Tommy Goodwin from Pequannock. He just won his 100th earlier today. He's 120 for his record. And the one thing I like about him, he's so humble, and it's kind of, and the story is up on the site, but you'll see it's a cherry on the top for a great week for him. He committed to college at Williams College up in Massachusetts. He wins his 100th in a season we weren't even really sure we were having. And congratulations, Tommy. And his family parents are super nice. You get some kids, and I'm not spilling tea out here, but I can't believe I just spilling tea. But anyway, I'm not out here, saying anything nobody's never said. There's some parents of some really good kids who are assholes, and the good ones aren't that. So I'm sorry for giving it, but the good ones are very, I enjoy saying hello to them, and Tommy's a really good kid. So there's certain kids you root for. You're not supposed to in the press. I root for Tommy, and I think he's going to have some success, and he should be the favorite heading into the upcoming region tournament to get down there in states. I think this is his year. He's going all out, so I wouldn't be surprised to hear his name a lot going forward. Now, we're going to kick it a little bit. We're going to kick it into my top 10. Not a lot of change this week. It's been more of a reaffirming, if that makes sense, with what we did. First day after looking at everything, I feel it's tough. It was tough this week because there were some really good teams, and you can't go by records because there's certain teams who have really good records who haven't wrestled really anybody, and they lose. They've lost the kids who had losing records, or teams that had losing records. Excuse me. So my first one in, I haven't really given them a lot of the attention they should, but I'm going to throw them in here. Butler, they would be my first in. 7-1 record, tops in Division II in their conference. I like them. Problem I have is their one loss is to my number 10 team. I can't jump them, and it's kind of set everything up. But Pequannock, still my number 10 team. Like I said, Tommy Goodwin had a great match today. They beat DePaul Catholic, which DePaul Catholic, and this is no qualms with Coach Peg or anything. DePaul Catholic is falling off because they used to be one of those teams that you didn't want to wrestle. So I don't know what's going on there, but now it's taking nothing away from Pequannock, but DePaul was always one of those tough teams. So Pequannock to Manhattan kind of opened my eyes and said, hey, maybe Pequannock's for real. Number 9, Mendham, in a tough division. Their losses are teams ahead in the top 20, but they've wrestled a really tough schedule. And I'll give Coach Big credit, especially in this limited season. He could have easily ducked and just did his conference schedule and cherry picked some bad teams, and he's wrestling the best. So that's going to help him in the future. So Mendham's number 9. Number 8, Hanover Park, solid team. They clinched their Liberty division. They lost to Kittatinny earlier, Kittatinny's been on a roll. There was actually a semi-reunion as head coach Tyler Branham, who is the coach at Hanover Park, was actually a former wrestler at Kittatinny. So there is pictures somewhere right around there of Tyler Branham running around with the tights on. So we'll see if we can get those for future reference. Number 7, Hackettstown. Once again, they've had a great showing. They kind of hung in there. Number 6, Jefferson. And here's where we kind of get this. This will probably be the one we might see a little change in going forward in these next 2 spots. But I have Jefferson 6 and Pope John 5. Pope John has been wrestling well, but they have a little injury, so we'll see where that goes. So that might get flip-flop. But other than that, I think that'll probably be set for most of the year. Jump to number 4, High Point. I think they're in another lockdown. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think I've seen some of their schedule get cleared. I know there was an issue, so we'll see. I know it's kind of has to be hard, especially for Brasildano and some of those other kids, to start and stop as much as they do. I know it's unprecedented, but I hope this doesn't affect him, going into regions, and I hope he can put that past him, which I think he will. But it's just so tough not to get that extra time when you got people who you're going to wrestle who have been wrestling, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches, and you're wrestling 2 matches. So we'll see. Number 3, Kittatinny, we spoke about them earlier, kind of crept up on me. I thought they were good, but there was nobody you looked at and you said, man, obviously you have the guys you see in that Jackson, Cron, and guys like that. That's not who I was looking at. You looked at some of the other guys, you said, how are they going to fit in? And they've done a great job. So, congratulations. Usually with Coach Gill, you get up there and, you win your 600th and you kind of coast them. He's pushing those kids, and they're surprising a lot of people. And, congratulations to them. They've just had a great season. Number 2, Mount Olive. They've had a great season. Like I said, we talked about Carly Anderson and some of the other wrestlers, and they basically manhandled Warren Hills, and they beat Pope John the other day. Those are 2 teams. You go back a couple of years, they were struggling to hang with. Now they're easily, putting their foot on their throat and taking them down. This is I'm telling you right now, mark my words, watch these podcasts in a couple of years. Mount Olive is going to be a team to reckon with, especially they're young. They're not they don't have a ton of kids are going to lose. And they got the system they have and the feeder program. Mount Olive is going to be tough. So keep an eye on them. And then Del Barton. I mean, they had a little bit of a scare against Kingsway the other day. I don't know how that plays off for them. There was a couple upsets. I know Trzynski lost. There's one other. I know Vasquez lost. So it was a couple losses. They didn't have their 106. I'm not making excuses. Kingsway's a really good public team. So they took it to them. You know, I'm sure there are people going, oh, well, maybe Del Barton's as good as they are. The kids told me, you know, a couple kids and a few coaches told me that Kingsway's legit. So Del Barton's my number one team, and I don't see that changing pretty much any other way. So that's my top 10. I hope you like it. Now, we're going to wrap it up because, like I said, we have no guests, this week. And, obviously it's Easter, and I want everybody to enjoy some time with their families. We're pushing through and getting there. But I just want everybody to know, I see a lot of stuff on the news. I see a lot of stuff with they're still investigating, the moron governor up north. And, our, pumpkin-headed dipshit governor said they should be back in the fall. I just want everybody to understand, please, I'm begging you, please, if you've ever contributed, if you've ever thought, vote Murphy out. Please vote him out. He is horrible. He is the worst thing for New Jersey ever. I know there was a big backlash against Christie because Christie's a fat Italian guy, which I live in a town with most of them, so I understand. But he's very abrasive. He's very gruff. I understand it. Murphy is a two-faced son of a bitch. And honestly, if you're a two-faced, why are you wearing that face, you ugly son of a bitch? But he will lie and is a classic politician. Please vote him out. But I don't want to hold anybody up. Obviously, I want everybody to have a happy Easter. If you want, keep following up on the schedules. Listen, I'm going to put up what I got, and I'm going to try to update, but stuff is changing at the ready. I mean, I've heard of matches, especially this past week, where teams are showing up, weighing in, and saying they're not wrestling. So it's ridiculous. I don't understand that. If you know you're not going to wrestle a team, don't go out there and waste anybody's time. But I digress. But I'm going to update the schedule as much as I can, trying to keep it up with everything as far as it goes as far as teams. And, I want everybody to be safe and happy. If you want, give me a follow on Morris County HWS. I'm on YouTube at Morris County HS Wrestle. I'm on Twitter at Morris County HSW. If you want to contribute, there's a little link up at the time. Any donations, I'm not going to ask. I know a lot of people ask how they can help. That's the best way. A lot of stuff's changed with everything because of COVID and such, with fundraising, this and that, donations, everything. So I appreciate anything I get. And from my family to yours, I want everybody to have a happy Easter. And for the podcasting legend, Jared, we'll see you next week.